Before the final form of the questionnaire is prepared for distribution among the respondents, it should be tried out or pre-tested for the purpose of validation in terms of practical use. The pre-test should be done on ACW prospective respondents and the responses be tabulated. This would indicate whether the answers can be tabulated satisfactorily and whether answers are forthcoming to crucial questions. The pre-testing would probably indicate need for revision of certain questions, deletion of some questions not yielding useful information, and addition of some new questions. After pre-testing and revision, the questionnaire is ready for distribution among respondents. The questionnaire can be presented to respondents in two ways: through direct contact in a face-to-face situation or through the mail. A. Direct contact. When you personally present the questionnaire to respondents, you can explain the purpose and significance of the study, clarify points, answer questions that arise, motivate respondents to answer questions carefully and truthfully, and obtain new partial responses and refusals. But bringing a group together to fill up a questionnaire is often difficult, and meeting members individually may be extremely costly and time-consuming. Hence, it is often necessary to send questionnaire through the mail. B. Mailed questionnaires. Mailed questionnaires can quickly and easily reach many people in widely scattered areas at a relatively low cost. Unfortunately, the returns are generally less than 40 to 50%, and the partial returns, thus obtained, can introduce a bias that will render the obtained data useless. If non-respondents are quite different from the respondents, they may not hold the same views as those who answer the questions. Thus, their missing data might substantially change the findings of the study. The mailed questionnaire has another limitation: it cannot obtain a representative sample of data from a population that includes some non-readers. Steps for better response through questionnaire. Collecting data through mailed questionnaires requires special care. Unplanned or hurriedly mailed questionnaires yield disappointingly low returns, which may even make it impossible to complete the research. The following steps are likely to ensure better return. Choose respondents carefully. It is important that you send the questionnaire only to those who possess the desired information, those who are likely to be sufficiently interested to respond conscientiously and objectively. A preliminary card, asking whether the individual would be willing to participate in the proposed study, is recommended by some research authorities. This will not only be a courteous approach, but a practical way of discovering those who will cooperate in furnishing the desired information. A greater proportion of returns is possible when the original request is made to be the administrative head of the organization, rather than directly to the person who had the desired information. It facilitates the returns. B. Be sure to include a courteous, carefully constructed cover letter to explain the purpose of the study. The letter should promise some sort of inducement to the respondent for compliance with the request. In educational circles, a summary of questionnaire results is considered an appropriate reward, a promise that should be scrupulously honored after the study has been completed. The covering letter should assure the respondent that delicate information will be held in strict confidence. It is usually suggested that 2 copies of the questionnaire be sent to respondents along with a stamped, addressed return envelope. It will facilitate the respondents to return 1 copy and keep the other one in his own record. To omit this courtesy would be practically to guarantee that many of the questionnaires would go into the waste basket. C. If the desired information is delicate or intimate in nature, consider the possibility of providing for anonymous responses. The anonymous instrument is most likely to produce objective responses. There are occasions, however, for purpose of classification, when the identity of the respondent is necessary. If a signature is needed, it is essential to convince the respondent that his responses will be held in strict confidence, and that his answers will, in no way, jeopardize the status and security of his position. D. Follow-up procedure. Recipients are often slow to return completed questionnaires. To increase the number of returns, a vigorous follow-up procedure may be necessary. A courteous postcard, reminding the recipient that the completed questionnaire has not been received, will bring in some additional responses. This reminder will be effective with those who have just put off or forgotten to fill up or mail the document. A further step in the follow-up process may involve a personal letter of reminder. In extreme case, a telegram, phone call, or personal visit may bring additional responses. Every effort should be made to obtain return of at least 80 to 90% or more. Uses of questionnaire. Following are some of the uses of questionnaires. Some authors include sampling among the tools of research. In view of the importance of sampling techniques, Unit has been exclusively devoted for it. Questionnaires may be relatively inexpensive to administer, since they are completed by respondent without any enterer present. They can be distributed to respondents quickly and inexpensively through the mail, or they can be administered to an assembled group of people at one time. They often can be designed to maintain respondents' anonymity, thus respondents are reassured that their responses will not be used if against them in any way. Hence they will respond with greater honesty than might otherwise be the case. They can be standardized, so that all respondents are given exactly the same printed questions to answer. On the contrary, in an interview, a respondent's answers may be influenced by the way the interviewer asks questions. Limitations of questionnaire. Following are some of the limitations of the questionnaire. A. The responses may not be truthful or accurate. A respondent may make or less errors, e.g., writing incorrect numbers, checking wrong responses. He may make purposeful priors in the hope of conveying a favorable impression and avoiding embarrassing admissions. Of lie may make unintentional error because he misinterprets questions or does not understand his attitudes, feelings or actions well enough to answer questions accurately. B. The mailed questionnaires give low rate of responses. It may be due to postal wastage ranging from 20% to 40% or due to non-responses. In Pakistan, this low rate may be 40% to 60%. C. The respondents answer questionnaires at their leisure, which implies that they will answer at different times, on different days and in different circumstances, and that their responses may be subject to situationally induced differences.